Welcome back. Welcome back.
Back in this thing.
Back to play some Undisputed.
Are we going for the big boys?
Going heavyweight. All right. I have my notes.
Ooh.
So we're going to be talking about All-Stars today.
Ooh, you got the notes out?
Because I knew I wasn't going to remember all this shit.
I feel you. I do appreciate them giving Frank Bruno some love. He never gets as much love in boxing as he should. So I was happy to see him put in the game. I'll let you pick whoever and we'll try to match it up stat-wise.
All right.
Most of the heavyweights are kind of either in the low 80s or the high 90s, or I mean the low 90s.
I don't know who I want to play.
Got Smoking Joe Frazier.
Yeah, let's do Joe Frazier.
You want to do Joe Frazier? All right, let me see. I ain't playing Rocky Marciano. Damn that.
Why?
I never liked Rocky Marciano. He beat Joe Louis. Yeah, I'll do that. They just buffed Joe Frazier. He was an 88 when I was playing with him online, and I still chopped down Tyson Fury. Yeah, they had the stats wrong. Apparently, Joe Frazier's big thing was left hook, right? But they didn't give. There was a Smoking Joe left in the game, but it wasn't assigned to him by mistake. So he had like a hard right hook, and I'm like, he didn't have a bad right hook, but he had, it's Joe Frazier. He's the left hook master. Him and Jeff left hook Lacey. But now he's got a buff, so I'm probably gonna get caught by one and just freeze up. All right, so All-Star reserves.
All right, let's talk East. East first.
Okay.
So the reserves are Embiid. Bam.
Yeah, I was surprised by that one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Drew Holiday.
I was happy about that.
Halliburton.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown. DeRozan. And Julius Randle.
But
New York Knickerbockers.
But what did I tell you? I said I wouldn't be surprised if they slip him in because Julius Randle always has he's a points, rebounds, assist guy. He's a potential triple-double guy. So like when it looks good, it looks really good. But when it doesn't, it does not.
But should he have made it over Brunson?
I think because Brunson only scores, that's going to be his biggest fault. And he's a guard versus.
They probably needed more front court.
Yeah.
So, talking snubs. Brunson was the first one.
Okay.
That I had on the list, but Trae Young.
Yeah, I was very shocked just because he's almost averaging 30 points still. Like, how do you average 27 points and still not get an All-Star selection, bro? That's crazy. I think he's like top 10 in scoring. Like, how do you do that? So that was very surprising.
That was a big one.
Especially like Drew got in over Trae. Like, I love Drew. I was so happy when he won the championship because I felt like he got vindicated from his time in New Orleans and stuff like that. God damn.
You're not going to see a lot of finesse and skills from this guy. He wants to.
But yeah, Trae Young not getting in was crazy.
Oh man, you've got swarm in your face.
Like,
you've got to try and push him off, make him go into the rope. You've got to sometimes fight.
Especially the All-Star game where you want him to do like, we want people to
Trae Young things.
Yeah, like that's the perfect setting for him. But it's like, all right, I guess that's what they doing. Who else you got on Snub's list?
She goes away. Let's see. Moved.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Yeah, you're good. I'm trying to think anybody else off the top of my head. Like Jimmy Butler, I don't think is necessarily a snub.
Siakam.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I am really shocked that Siakam didn't get in. I just feel like I know they not having the greatest year, and I know that's kind of part of it too.
Yeah. Well, that's why also the Knicks didn't get two people in.
Yeah.
Your record does have some play into it.
Oh, yeah, especially when this coach is picking.
Especially if Trae, that's why, well, probably the reason why Trae Young didn't get in.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not a unanimous fan vote, which is why Halliburton probably got in. I mean, he's having a good year, but like, I think them looking at that really mattered to them.
I had Trae Young or Siakam, James Harden.
I feel like they judged James Harden very harshly.
Yeah.
Like clearly he's not the player he used to be, but he's still like really good. But they just like, nah, you're not as good as you used to be. You're not getting in anymore.
Jimmy Butler's on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I get it.
I don't understand why. Did Bam deserve it over him?
I think the fact that Jimmy Butler's counted under the guards.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler doesn't have the prettiest game, so sometimes it's like they kind of look at it like he's not doing as well. So, I don't know. I know they get very weird when it comes to Jimmy Butler.
And then I have Jared Allen.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, I thought he was having a better year than he had last year, and he made it last year. So I don't know.
Is he having a better year than Julius Randle?
I don't.
That's the spot he would probably take.
Yeah, I think Julius Randle scores a lot more than him, and Jared Allen's rebounds haven't been like off the charts or anything like that. Like, I think he's averaging a double-double, but it's like, it's the 11 double-double. And Julius Randle is like a 20-point, 10 rebound a game player. Now, granted, Julius Randle has nowhere near the defense that Jared Allen has, but as LeBron once put it, we're not in the All-Star game to see defense.
Yeah.
So, like.
But that was more directed at Gobert.
The fact remains.
Oh, you're right.
But yeah, so I get it. Like, it's not the prettiest game, but yeah. And I know Darius Garland has been injured, and so like.
Yeah, he was another person on my list.
Yeah, I figured he wasn't gonna make it because of the injuries.
Is there anybody else that you think? That's my whole list right there.
Yeah, not from the East. I know the West was a little more
tighter.
Yeah, it was a lot more talented in that regards anyway. Because I didn't think anybody else on the Celtics needed it besides Brown and Tatum, just from a as well as they've been playing. Like a lot of those dudes.
The only person you probably consider smart.
Yeah, and he's definitely he's not offensively as gifted, so it doesn't look as good, and it just he'll get his all defensive first team and he'll be happy. And the East is what it is. Like, I don't think Paolo was good enough this year and consistent enough over some of the other players that made it from the front court.
Yeah.
But I know he's going to be there.
Plus, like I said, the record.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be the same thing with like I didn't realize how good Bogdanovich was doing until we looked it up today. But that's another reason that like he's on the Pistons and they're not playing particularly well. So it's hard to kind of give that out, You're trying to smoke me, Joe.
We're trying to do some things.
You're facing a big puncher like this guy that can seriously hurt you.
I don't like Joe Frazier's blocking because he uses the Philly shell.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's you have to dodge more versus like it's a very dodge heavy reliant stance. Nice exchange here from both men. Because you have to reward people who are on winning teams. I think that's always something that we have to remember. I know a lot of people just like, oh yeah, well he's doing the most, but it's also be like, look, man, we've seen a lot of dudes score a lot of points on teams and not actually be good because the moment they were required to be good, their teams never were.
Yeah, it's easy when you're the only option.
Exactly. As a man once told me, somebody got to score.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one.
They're all losers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
No, he didn't. At the perfect time, my man. That's ring generalship right there.
We're still getting busted, though.
I mean, Joe Frazier has some obvious physical attributes that he couldn't overcome in his career. Him being like 5'11" on a good day. He's as tough as nails, but like that only can go so far.
Yeah, you definitely outreach my ass.
Oh yeah, bro, he was fighting like Joe Louis is legit 5'11". Joe Frazier was fighting Ali, who's legit like 6'3". But that hook is nasty. It comes from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Swing and a miss with the right hook.
Actually, Joe Frazier's from Philly,
We're always looking for that KO. And we could
which is
see
why
it
Philly always gets made fun of because they have.
being smothered
Oh my
here in
goodness.
clinch and can't get his shots off. How did they survive that? Are we about to see? Well, that looked like a
Yeah,
blood
he's-
shot down
he
here.
slumped
Let's
him.
see if he can get back to
I was
his
already
feet.
fucking
It
hurt
looks
too.
like
Yeah.
this one's gonna be over.
He's got heart though, man. Look how big that meter is. The pressure that I be under me when that thing be sliding up and down. Good God, I got anxiety watching you do it.
Dude, it's tough because you have to like look at both things.
You got to. There's so much managing.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
It's the one who draws first blood. That's what you've got to look at. If you pick and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it.
No, I'm in there with a banger.
God, I keep hitting the right stick for no reason.
That's why I like you can't turn it off because it's like it's close to it.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land.
Just
and
said that,
how
my dog.
hard they are.
Yeah. The commentary repeats. Don't worry about that, people. When you watch the video, the commentary repeats. It's a new game, a small studio. There's gonna be some.
Round winding down now, and it's been another good one for him.
Hey man, you moving all the way around. Got nothing left. Got nothing left. Got nothing.
As bad as boxing judging could be sometimes.
Yeah, that was bad for me.
doubt
That was
All
a
right.
bad round.
So what about the Weiss?
West. All right, so our West reserves are John Morant,
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis,
Okay.
SGA,
Okay.
Paul George,
Yep.
Dame, Larry Markkinen, and Jaren Jackson Jr. That was a surprise. to
That
me.
was a surprise, and not because we don't think Jaren Jackson's a good player. I just don't know if All-Star is quite there for him yet. I'm happy for the young fella. That was more front court players than I thought. I thought that last spot would have went to like Anthony Edwards. But we were very close.
He's on my snub list.
Oh, he is the biggest. I won't say he's the biggest snub, but he is high on the snub list for me. I know that a lot of people were thinking De'Aaron Fox would get in.
He's on my list.
He is a potential, but I just don't see him over Ant because like they play the same position. So I feel like Ant's the best guard that didn't get in, pointer or shooting guard. And since they don't differentiate, right, it shouldn't matter. Like he's the best guard to not get in this year. So
We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose.
that was my big snub. What other snubs do you have on there?
That can strike at any moment.
Clay Thompson.
Nah, he has some outbursts, but his overall stats are kind of they're like I said, he's not better than Anthony Edwards.
Well, I think Anthony Edwards is the biggest one.
Like, all right,
These
so
are just players that could have
yeah, oh yeah,
potentially.
Significant power difference. How would you handle that?
Like, I wouldn't have been surprised if any of these players.
oh yeah. If they pick Clay, I'm not surprised. I know some people be getting mad on legacy picks, but I'd be like, whatever. Like Paul George is like, sure,
Exchanges from both men.
he's still doing Paul George stuff, but also, you know,
But he's not fast.
I think that was also more of a record thing because aren't they like third in the West right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's
We got
down to
Ayton.
Ooh, I think Phoenix is on the outskirts.
Their season's been so weird.
Yeah, it's rough for those fellas. And also, I mean, Aiden's floor still gotten pretty good, but his ceiling, like he hasn't snapped off any games for real. Like I know he had that 20-something rebound game, but even then it was like, all right, are we gonna get that type of like output from you at all?
Frazier covering up. He's got nowhere to.
He went out like a G though.
Winning this battle.
Ant, obviously, Gobert.
Are you trying to be funny?
I
Hey, you trolling him?
mean, Aaron Gordon.
Consistency again. Like I like what I see from Aaron Gordon, but that's all. That was his problem in Orlando. It's
So
like,
Denver is the #1 team.
yep.
And only one player from Denver is on the All-Star. And I know Joker, he has MVP career or season, but he's not doing it himself.
Oh, he's definitely not doing it exactly by himself. I think right now the problem is every night is Joker, and then it's either Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, or Michael Porter Jr. But more often than not, to what you're saying, it's Aaron Gordon is the second guy for them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the easy assists and stuff that Joker's getting, it's Aaron Gordon cuts and things like that. Like, I get it though. Like you said, #1 team, you do have to start looking at like, all right. But I think this is more for them to make the case for Joker getting the #3 MVP. All right, now you busted open now.
He scores with that right hand.
CJ McCollum, which I think he's missed a lot of games.
Yeah, he was a long shot pick.
Fox and JC Clarkson.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. They treat that dude so weird because of the 6-man thing. It's like there was times Jamal Crawford had this issue where it's like he should have been an all-star just on the output and stuff, and they're like, nah, but he's a 6-man guy. Oh, that's it.
Ooh.
He done.
Ooh. Did we steal this?
Oh no. Probably will.
Nah, you got it. You got it. Them bars are big.
Whew. That's a flash knockdown though, my boy. I like that. I went down slow too.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. I thought I just stunned you.
Smoking Joe got hard.
Is this the beginning of the end for this legend? So his offense
Yeah, he's so tight.
stifled there by a clinch. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Let me chill out though. Like I just didn't get knocked down.
Yeah, you almost got knocked down again.
Frazier in trouble. And he will hold.
Bro, you got like the greatest clinch game.
Because he was getting
Oh.
beaten up.
I don't know if it's a dancing competition or a fight.
Keeping those gloves up, the guard high, paying dividends as it seems that moment of trouble has
Woo.
passed.
You tried to slap me across the top of the head.
Seconds here, and I think he knows who's won this round.
It's getting a little getting a little close.
Yeah.
Starting to pucker up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So with Clarkson, I don't think he turned it on until about quarter way through the season. So I think that also hurts him a little bit.
That's true. That's true. I just know, man.
But like this last quarter, like this, whatever you want to call it, like the last 25 games.
Give him the last January. Look at his January number. Like he was snapping. And I know that's kind of that's a terrible argument to be like, oh, 1 month and you should be an all-star. But like, if we're talking about getting people in, like coaches picks, I think that's something that coach probably would look at and be like, okay, who's been killing us? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like his name might have came up. But I also think that's like if you do that, then De'Aaron Fox would probably need to be up there higher. And I know the reason why he probably wasn't the first reserve wasn't a guard reserve is because one, like I said, I think Anthony Edwards is a little bit better. But also I know that the Kings haven't been doing the greatest. Like they've had some spurts of doing well, but then they had that slump for a while.
Yeah.
And
he was part of that. I mean, his inconsistency.
Yeah.
I remember watching a few games where he just couldn't buy a bucket.
Dude, his dry spells look nasty because it's a lot of driving to the basket, and it's like when he's finishing, it looks fantastic, and then when he's not, it looks bad. Like their offense looks really good, depending on what he's doing. You just push my hands?
I'm just doing shit.
Why aren't they defending?
Shut up, announcer man. I am defending in my mind.
Nice exchanges from both men. Can you imagine
Ooh,
if he
I didn't
knocks out
block.
Joe Frazier? Not looking good. And
That was bad.
Yeah, it came in clean too.
Shot that put him down.
Joe got hard though. Like how the game messing with you. Yeah.
Ooh, I almost got it.
You did. I thought you was gonna get it. I was hoping you got back up.
But yeah, I mean,
Ladies and gentlemen,
so those are your all-stars. Now the question is, what do they do with Kyrie going to the West?
So that's a really good question, right? All right, so like if you get to choose who you want to get in based on what it looks like, because Steph is hurt.
Steph is hurt.
Steph is hurt. So, but Kyrie moved to the West. So,
Does he just take his spot?
does he? Because Kyrie was a starter. That's the thing, is Kyrie was a starter for the East,
So was Steph.
and so was Steph.
So
do you just
that's an easy slot in, but then that leaves you a starter for the West or East rather.
or Team Giannis or Team LeBron or however you want to do it. I don't know how that works since it's going into a pool anyway.
yeah, and he's a guard.
Well, yeah, no, because they do have to pick from the starters first, right?
Yeah, they pick from the starters.
Okay,
first.
so he does. Somebody has to be put into a guard spot.
People were like, "Well, let's move Embiid to a starter," but he's not a guard.
Not a guard,
Kyrie was a guard.
because that means you would
That was
have.
close.
Yeah, you were. You would have Kyrie. Like in theory, right? It would have been. It's going to be Donovan Mitchell. It's going to be who's starting over. The East starters. So Donovan Mitchell.
It has to be Jaylen Brown.
Ooh.
Like I'm looking at the list because you got Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, DeMar DeRozan are your guards.
Yeah, out of those three,
Halliburton's not a guard.
no, he's a
right?
guard.
And Halliburton. I think Jaylen Brown takes it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised DeRozan because of the legacy thing.
Yeah, but he hasn't had a year like the other dudes.
I don't think so.
I
either.
think honestly he's my fourth.
Yeah, he's kind of.
I think it's Jaylen Brown, Halliburton, Holiday, DeMar. I think that's the list.
So do we bring in another guard from the East? Do they move up one?
So maybe that's how Trae Young gets in?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because that's who you bring in is Trae Young or Brunson.
Yeah, I think it'll be Trae Young before it'll be
Or
Jalen.
even Harden.
Ooh, coaches pick Harden.
Yeah. I mean, they are, what, top 3 in the East, and they only have Embiid in the All-Star? So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be
Because
that
who do we have?
far-fetched
It's
to put Harden in
what is
there.
it? Milwaukee, Philly, and Boston, right? Top 3 seeds.
Yeah, and then I think Nets is 4.
Yeah. So Milwaukee has Giannis and Drew Holiday,
Yeah.
and then who was the other team?
That's why I'm saying, like, why didn't
Oh,
Aaron Gordon get in?
Boston has
Because
Jalen.
Denver only has 1, but everybody else has 2.
Yeah, hey, the logic is there. Somebody's got to say something. Now, again, granted, I also think in Denver, this is Denver's fault for this perception. Denver has never been seen as a real threat for the title or for the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Even though they've had runs of being the best record,
Yep.
they've had runs of, they had Joker. There's 2 MVPs for Joker now. So they've had like, oh yeah, it's his MVP season. But I feel like a lot of people in the West treat them like the Mavericks used to get treated with Dirk,
Yeah.
where it's like,
He's just a stat guy.
yeah, it's like, I mean, he's good, but we could beat them in 7 games. They don't got enough for them to win in 7 games. And I think they do. I think that they've been hit by injury to Jamal Murray a few times, for first and foremost. Like he's missing games, but also when he comes back, he's not as good as he's not the 50-point dude in the bubble. And that's less to do with the bubble and more to do with him being hurt.
Yeah.
Or coming back from injury. Michael Porter Jr. still has never turned into quite what they want from him. And that's the reason why you see more of Aaron Gordon anyway. So it's like, I don't know, man. I feel like Denver gets a raw deal for playing better during the regular season because they don't do as well in the postseason. It's like, that's not really their fault. I mean, it is, but yeah, maybe somebody else should have got a nod, or potentially.
Yeah.
So maybe if they open up a spot in the West because Curry's out and they say, no, Kyrie's technically from the East, do they move up? Do they move Aaron Gordon in, or does it go to a guard?
Which who would that be? Ant? Probably.
I think it should be. It might be De'Aaron Fox, though. And I really wouldn't be mad at that pick. Like, I'd get it. I'd still say I think it should be Ant, but, maybe they're looking at records, and I'm pretty sure the Kings are doing better than the Timberwolves right now. Or maybe they might be close to being tied.
I think they're close.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, appreciate y'all hanging out with us today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.